Hey folks, good afternoon. This is Grady with Strong Future Nature Doc. This being my first YouTube video, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a naturopathic medical student. Prior to this experience, I earned my master's degree in East Asian medicine. And I love lifting heavy objects. It's been my hobby now for many years. I'm assuming you guys share that hobby. And the purpose of this video and future videos in the channel in general is to provide you all with as much information as possible on how to make progress in the world of fitness naturally. So what I'd like to focus on today is a particular substance within the broader category of adaptogens. Adaptogens being substances that better enable their user to adapt to non-specific stress, which can be physical, overtraining for instance, or psycho-emotional stuff, marital stress, job stress, basically stuff that characterizes the 21st century world. What I'd like to focus on today is an animal product that's held in the highest esteem by the Chinese tradition. Over 2,500 years of medical usage, that being deer antler velvet, or lu rong in Chinese. In recent decades, this has acquired the reputation essentially as the anabolic steroid of Chinese medicine. Is it equal with anabolics in terms of the gains in size and strength that you can expect to make? I have no first-hand experience with anabolics, so I can't say unequivocally, but no is the simple answer. I've used deer antler velvet. Many of my friends have used deer antler velvet per my recommendation. Particularly the ectomorphic individuals have made the biggest and best gains. In the order of 10 to 20 pounds in the course of 4 to 6 months, gained comparable amounts of strength as well. But obviously that's why it's earned the reputation that it has nowadays in the Western world, also because of Ray Lewis's successful use in repairing a triceps injury. Gained it a little media spotlight there momentarily. But as far as the broad spectrum of beneficial compounds that it contains, that's really just out of this world. Dozens of compounds, such as testosterone, DHEA, androstenedione, basically the entire lineage of androgenic hormones, steroidal hormones, are represented therein. Also IGF-1, HGH, thyroid hormones, other peptide hormones. Obviously, IGF-1 and HGH have very low oral bioavailability, which would be the mechanism by which you would take deer antler velvet, either in tincture or powder form. And despite that, studies have shown that users and test subjects given deer antler velvet do show appreciably higher levels of IGF-1 and HGH. So like many adaptogens, are exerting some influence at the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Deer antler velvet is no exception working there. And with the addition of thyroid hormone, obviously that's important for growing bone, and deer antler velvet is essentially, it's a little bit of a misnomer. What it is the pre-ossified antler, so it's basically highly vascular cartilage, a fleshy substance that's harvested between 45 and 60 days worth of growth. And thyroid hormone has such an important effect on developing bone. It's no surprise that it's present there. What gets overlooked a lot of the time, people focus on the hormonal benefits of deer antler velvet because their goal is to gain size and strength. Much of what's overlooked in terms of adding up to the full adaptogenic properties of deer antler velvet are the phospholipids, which have such a profound influence on the brain and central nervous system, adding up to improved mood and cognitive function, better sleep, higher libido, better sexual function, those being phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylserine, sphingomyelin, ceramide, stuff it becomes increasingly important as we age. Myself being a medical student, really anything that I can get my hands on that has a cognitive improving benefit, I will much appreciate, and I can say firsthand that it is noticeable. Also, too, these particular compounds are incredibly nourishing to neuromuscular junctions, and it's supposed through the lens of science that their benefit specifically to the neuromuscular junction, and the nerves in general. They're incredibly neurotrophic, meaning they have a nerve strengthening effect, which in turn adds up to increased muscular strength and size, a myotropic effect. And then finally, there's again a very broad spectrum of compounds found in deer antler velvet that have deep healing benefits to the joints, connective tissue, tendons, and ligaments, such as mucopolysaccharides, peptidoglycans, MSN, and also prostaglandins that modulate the immune and inflammatory responses. So this is an incredibly healing substance. Weaker definitely than a legitimate anabolic steroid, as I said, but just in terms of the breadth and depth of the benefits, it's something that can be really just paramount to one's overall supplemental usage. And I definitely encourage people to experiment with this. You can definitely find more quality information at powernutrientsllc.com. They sell the highest quality deer antler velvet that I've found. The brand is Stag Power. It's sourced directly from New Zealand. It's harvested between 45 and 60 days of growth. In terms of dosage, I weigh about 200 pounds. The traditional dosage is between 1 and 3 grams. Keep in mind, this is applicable to Chinese peasants thousands of years ago who were about 5'2" and weighed probably about 120 pounds, who were basically on the brink of starvation their entire life. I would say for someone who's got an athletic hobby that they pursue regularly, who's about my size, I would say you won't see results with anything less than 2 grams a day in terms of dosage. You could definitely be safe going up as high as 3 or even 4 if you're a larger individual. For women, probably 1 to 2 grams a day you would see results. I highly recommend this. I can't, there's so much to commend it in terms of daily usage. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to posting future content for you guys.